All right. Looks like we should be live. Yeah, I'm just gonna give some extra thoughts, basically. Um, I'm just trying to see if I could make sense of something here. Uh, because it's that time of year. We're about a month away from Xbox Showcase, which means that something happened and the Xbox community loses their mind, sells their Xbox. Um, the community is in disarray. I swear, the same people that's been. I mean, somehow, some way, uh, I be seeing Xbox gamers. They sell their Xbox every year. You know what I'm saying? I must be honest. Sometimes I'm stunned when I hear that Xbox console sales aren't as high as they are because it seems like every year they sell it then rebuy it at some point. Hey, what's up, Shizno Elite? Thank you for joining. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna get some extra thoughts after tomorrow. I mean, after tomorrow, after yesterday's showcase, not showcase, but at yesterday's news, and I'm just trying to make sense I'm just trying to make sense of everything. This is gonna be one of those shows where if you don't pay attention, you might think, oh man, Unlimited is just justifying people losing their jobs and shutting down studios. No, not at all. You know, my personal take is simple. I hate that talented developers went under. I hate that two games that I love put money into, put time into, and that's constantly praised. I got unboxing videos and gameplays and all this other stuff didn't do as well as I hoped. It sucks, man, and it hurts. It hurts as a gamer to see this. However, you know me. If you watch me long enough, you know I am not a doom and gloom guy. I don't do the over emotional reactionary stuff. I don't go from 0 to 100 with my takes. I don't. Because with a lot of this stuff, man, it really is just sometimes seeing the forest from the trees. And right now, initially, hey, what's up, Nene? Right now, initially, you look at it and it sucks. It sucks to see, right? It sucks, and and it hurts, and that's why for those who are upset about it, I get it because I'm upset about it. You don't think your boy Limited wants to see Hi-Fi Rush 2? You don't think I want a Redfall 2? You don't think I want to see Redfall get a chance to turn things around, public perception wise? With I had faced the new DLC characters and whatever content was going to come with it was going to do wonders for the game. I already had the 60 FPS mode, which was one of the bitching talking points that went away. So yeah, as the gamer in me hates it. But what I don't understand is that everybody's selling their Xbox to jump to PlayStation again when PlayStation has also shut down studios. Hey, what's up, Sega man? Oh, nay, nay. No, Nini. Nini. He said it's pronounced Nini. All right, got it. Yeah, so my thing is like, why is it that the PlayStation community manager, he could be let go after protesting publicly protesting and supporting the gamers, if you will, um about the PlayStation login meltdown, which I gotta be real with you. There's a reason why I didn't talk about that because Xbox, I believe, does the same with Sea of Thieves, and I just don't excuse me, I just don't see how I could come up here and be like, hey, get mad at Sony for something Xbox has done. But point being, this gets no hate, right? The Hellblade community manager seemingly gone after PlayStation login meltdown. Which, I mean, to be fair, this is where you got to separate the business from the sentimentality of it all. Not to be too heartless, but you can't be a community manager and bad mouthing the publicly bad mouthing the company you work for, man. Yeah, that'll cost people some jobs. But still, the point is, I see this news, and you think that since everybody's selling their Xbox, they're up in arms over what happened. over at Bethesda and Xbox. They're upset about about games like Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall, games they didn't support and play. You think that something like this will also get them riled up, also bring that same fiery passion, also have them going on their emergency podcast saying, "Yo, what's going on? How can a community manager defend us? Say, yeah, guys, you should poorly review the game on Steam. You should review Bomb because this is a bad move." And if he seemingly get let go, you know what I'm saying? How is it that back in March, PlayStation Studio Deviation Games is shutting down? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't PlayStation fans sell their PS5s after this news? Why is it that back in 2021, when Japan Studios, who made the Gravity Rush, which you guys have seen me praise since I played it, I think last year, fantastic game. Why didn't they sell their Xboxes? Because Gravity Rush is a PlayStation similar to what Hi-Fi Rush was, a Japanese game, a smaller game. It wasn't full priced, right? However, it's a very fun game, very unique, very creative. Didn't do any numbers, and the devs got shut down. But nobody sold their PlayStation 5s, and yet everybody's selling their Xbox over the Hi-Fi Rush Tango Games Works, which y'all didn't buy the Evil Within 1 and 2, and y'all didn't buy Hi-Fi Rush. So so I'm trying to, as best I can, understand why one set, these studios getting shut down, and everybody still has faith in PlayStation, even though their 2024 game lineup is worse than Xbox in 2022, a year that y'all said Xbox had nothing. Other than that, this generation, Xbox has been on fire, right? And even in 2022, we got some good stuff. That was when Grounded officially released. That was when we got games like High on Life and stuff like that. But that didn't matter. So my point is, I'm seeing the reaction, and a lot of people are selling their Xboxes, and they're only going to play on PlayStation from now on. But PlayStation also shut down studios. They also cost people jobs. They also canceled games. Hell, it's objectively factually true that they've canceled more games than Xbox. Actually, I'm not even sure if Xbox has even canceled games after this news. I'm not sure. But so I need somebody to help me understand why one causes you to sell your Xbox 2 weeks before Hellblade comes out, less than a month before the showcase, before we get the release dates of Avowed and Indiana Jones and all that stuff. But in a year where Sony gave you Helldivers that y'all didn't play, the PC players did, right? That this is what's causing you to sell. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to justify shutting down studios or Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall not doing as well. I wish they were mega successes the way Sea of Thieves was. I wish they were successful the way State of Decay was. That's why we're getting State of Decay 3 and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's not the world we're living in. You know what I'm saying? So what was the breaking point there? What's the breaking point that you could see Sony shut down Deviation Games and Japan Studios? And I could excuse me. I could even dig deeper and go back to past years of them shutting down even more and more and more. And y'all still, and by y'all, I shouldn't say y'all because the chat might think I'm still me talking to them. But a lot of people's reactions is still somehow they got faith in them. But y'all don't even know we don't even know what Sony has coming down the pipeline other than Death Stranding 2. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a game that's releasing. So I just that's all I want to. That's all I'm trying to say here, right, chat? I'm just trying to figure out why the people pretend Xbox doesn't release games and this and that, and then after one bad news, everybody goes off the deep end, saying that they've been lied to and stuff like that, and all this other stuff. And the extreme reaction just is not making sense to me because whenever I read anything or put two and two together, I just see unfortunate situation that played out. And I'm not some heartless monster here who's so poor corporate that I'm just like, yeah, good job shutting down them studios, Xbox. It's more like, shit, it sucks they did it, but It's clear that they had, something went awry and they had to do it. Shizno Elite said, I hate seeing people lose their jobs, but it happens all the time. Nobody says anything until Xbox does it. Yeah, man. I mean, the people at Deviation Studios lost their jobs. The people at Japan Studios, and so many people just love Japan and everything they do and worship Japan, right? They lost their jobs. The people who are working on those canceled games, like the Last of Us factions and all that other stuff, they lost their jobs. You know what I'm saying? But I did not see people who cared. I mean, they did not give a fuck people did not give a shit back in March, literally 2 months ago, did not give a shit that people at Deviation Studio lost their jobs. Didn't care one bit. It didn't cause them the revolt. It didn't cause them to boycott nothing. Which, by the way, guys, it is not smart to say that your solution to the negative, a negative something where a game failed because it didn't do well, make enough money, is to stop spending money. Just saying. If you're like, I can't buy games right now because I gotta eat. I got bills to pay. 100% understandable. Gaming at the end of the day is a hobby. It's more of a luxury. It's not a necessity. We all know that necessities is stuff like housing, food, transportation, and things like that. So we're not going to be stupid, right? We're not going to be stupid and admit swears here. Hey, what's up, Daya? I see Daya has jumped in. Faded Blaze. Blab's Fatality. Hey, man, this seems like a new guy. The Gamer Chief. I see the chat, man. You guys are getting fired up already. But yeah, I'm with you there, Cisno, 100%. And that's the point. And if I repeat myself today about saying, I hate seeing people lose their jobs, it's just because I know that there are going to be people who probably jump in, who probably weren't listening, or other cases going to hear me say something and think, oh man, you're just blindly supporting the corporate. No, I'm not blindly supporting nothing. It's just a reality situation. The same way that if somebody loses their job in the food industry, you're like, damn, man, that sucks. But you can't do nothing about it. And same thing here. Guys, go and watch my videos. I've literally got gameplay. I literally bought these games. I bought the moment Hi-Fi Rush went on sale back in January last year after it was shadow dropped. I bought the deluxe edition of that game and played it, beat it, loved it, and been praising it since. So yes, I'm hurt that a game that I love didn't do well. But that's kind of par for the course, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate, man. It really is. But my question is, how is it that is the game y'all didn't play, a game the media hated, Redfall, hated that fucking game, and now the same people that hate it, didn't play it, didn't buy it, and purposely tore it down are the same ones who are saying, I'm selling my Xbox. This is why Xbox sucks. This and that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm drawing the line and saying, okay, you got all this faith in Sony, but Sony shut down studios, canceled games, and so on. You know what I'm saying? And yet you got the same. You guys still have this weird belief in Sony that, oh yeah, and then here's another thing. At least with Xbox, even after all this unfortunate news, at least we know they got dozens of games in the works. We don't know what Sony's got going on. And then when you see rumors, it's shit like a remaster of the first Horizon game, a game that came out in 2017. Yeah. Let me send some links out. Give me a second. Man. My trust in PC. Yeah, and the thing about PC is that they are getting both Xbox and PlayStation games, so you can't go wrong there. However, Devil Shooter, I'm not going to be dealing with different launchers and all this other shit. And then I've noticed a common thing with the PC version of games, Devil Shooters. Oftentimes, when a game gets hate for not running well, 9 out of 10 times it seems to be the PC version, right? It seems to be the PC version, and since PC, since PC got a lot of everybody's PC is different, right? I think that it's hard to it seems to be getting harder and harder to make these games run smooth initially. I mean, even games that are well received, like Cyberpunk 2077, had issues on PC, right? Shiznoli said, "Oh my god, I'm upset about Redfall. Was my favorite game last year, and it's still one of my favorites. And Hi-Fi Rush was a blast, and we'll never see them continue." Yeah, man, exactly how I feel. Now personally, I enjoyed Hi-Fi Rush more than Redfall, but both were great games. Both were a lot of fun. Hi-Fi Rush is the type of game that I tend to love. And if you notice me, I tend to praise games. The gameplay, I always say if the gameplay hooks me, everything else kind of falls in line. That's why I get blamed for liking woke games and trash games. And my defense of that is like, no, it's not the wokeness and shit. It's just that I'll play a game, have fun with it, and I generally don't care if they put a gay character in it or some shit. I just won't care. Because I'm having fun. And some as silly as a gay character is not going to sway me. Didn't Forspoken make one game and that studio shut down? Where's the outrage for that? Oh, that's right. They shut them down and had to absorb some of them employees into other Square Enix studios. And Square Enix, it seems like everything they do is a failure, man. It seems like everything they do is a failure these days. But yeah, again, that didn't cause people to sell their PlayStations. Look at this from February. Unannounced games from PlayStation Studios has been canceled, right? And I get it. You might look at this link and be like, well, we didn't even know what it was canceled. But it's still people. Canceled games mean that people were still let go. They still had to cut staff and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. I just don't see. And then I saw the argument. A few of the arguments has been, well, Sony has been releasing games. Really? Because we know there ain't shit. We know there ain't shit this year. We know last year was just Spider-Man was their only major release. We know that the year before, this generation, they literally resold you guys both Last of Us games. So don't sit here and tell me that Sony's just releasing these legendary masterpieces back to back, because that's not even happening. And again, nobody jumped on their on their soapboxes and was like, I'm selling my PlayStation and I'm playing Xbox from now on and this and that. And that's the whole point. That's the whole basis of today's show, man. It's just I just got to point out one to one, how it's not making sense. To me, if you're going to be upset when Xbox cut, and again, I do not like this news at all. I hate that 2 games that I enjoyed, put money into, and played that's not did well. I hate that the studios shut down. But if you guys are going to sell your Xbox, you guys might as well sell your PC, because games on PC, those studios got shut down. You might as well sell your PlayStations, because as you see on screen, PlayStation has cut games and canceled games and cut studios. You guys might as well even sell your Nintendo, because you guys might be sitting there like, oh well, Nintendo takes fucking Saudi Arabia money. So you can't tell me that. So you guys, you know what I'm saying? At some point, I just where does your morality in gaming stand? Maybe that's the question I should be asking. Because if your morality is strictly when Xbox does it, I hate it, but when everybody else does it, oh, it's just business, then you don't actually care about what's going on. Yeah, Blabs, they can't stop talking about. They've never been able to. To be fair, Blabs, there's nothing to talk about on PlayStation, because their biggest news this year from March, Deviation Games shut down. The Helldivers controversy from 2 days ago. They literally got nothing coming this year, right? To the point that everybody's pretending that every Xbox game should be on PlayStation, so they could have something to play. And I see Hebot join, and I'll introduce him in a second. The Gamer Chief, shout out Gamer Chief. These studios that Xbox shut down was a complete shocker for everyone. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that at all, but this has to be for good intentions, right? Yeah, Yeah, man, it was a shocker, huge shocker, man. I was stunned. Everybody, everybody who's seen this was stunned. Um, it's so unfortunate, right? It sucks, right? However, what can we do about that? I mean, the only thing that would have changed that, and here's the thing: even if you retroactively start buying Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall now, the studio's already gone, so it's not like they're gonna see a spike in sales, right? For these games probably on discount, and then people are gonna, and then Microsoft being like, oh shit, we made a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the studio's already gone, Hebot. But
The
Hebot, man, how are you?
unfortunate truth, my brother, is that gamers don't even want to take responsibility. They want to blame Microsoft, and that's it.
Oh wow,
When
you
the
sent me a lot of stuff.
when the reality is, the games didn't sell enough. They did well, but didn't sell enough to bring forth profit.
Right.
Now you're seeing all these things coming out saying that they were that Tango wanted to do sequel to Hi-Fi Rush, but because the returns weren't enough, they said we can't do it, right?
Right.
But Jason Fryer, he was the first one talking shit. Then when he got questioned and put in platform, then now he want to change his fucking narrative. Now he's trying to say that it was from ZeniMax themselves, right? That
Mm-hmm.
they said to consolidate because they have big projects that are in the works that are not even announced that they need to invest more money on.
Mm-hmm.
And since those teams were smaller, it would make more sense to close them down, consolidate them into other teams that are working on bigger projects. Now he wants to change the tone and say it was from Cinemax themselves. Because remember, when Microsoft made the decision to buy Bethesda, they said clear as day that they're still going to let, even though they own them, Bethesda work as their own entity. That's
Right.
why when we have the showcase, they do the Bethesda showcase and the Xbox showcase
Right.
because they're treating them as their own entity, even though they own them,
Right.
to not step grounds and not step underground, right?
Right.
So when the reality when Jason Schreier first put up, oh, that it was a Microsoft decision that they're gonna cut back on more people. Like, bro, listen, gamers just as much as the media, they're all at fault. We said from the very beginning, Hi-Fi Rush is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
No one was talking about it. No one cared. I saw people saying, I'm gonna buy it when it's on sale. Bro, the game was $25 through Game Pass. The game was $30 without Game Pass, the discount. How you want to think that Microsoft's gonna keep making investments on a studio where a game that was only $25 and was incredible at that did not sell nothing but 2.5 million, and most people played it, downloaded on Game Pass. They
Right.
didn't even play the fucking game. It was like 6% of people that bought the fucking game. This is from Matt Booty himself. And then no one bought it on PlayStation.
Right.
So they can't make that type of investment and continue forward, even though Tango Gameworks is an incredible studio.
Mm-hmm.
If their game, look, Ghostwire Tokyo didn't sell.
Right.
Okay,
That was on
had
PlayStation first.
5.6 million people playing it on Game Pass because dude didn't buy it. Game Pass is not supposed to be the solution to playing games. Game Pass is the option to help you if you have an economical situation. That's the bottom line. So you're supposed to enjoy the game, but if you like the game well enough, you're supposed to buy it and add it to your collection. That is the whole point of it. But motherfuckers are playing the game on Game Pass, and that's it. They don't buy it. And again, you understand if you're economically fucked up, I get it. But I see people all the time, oh, I'll buy it when it's on sale. Dude, how you gonna, with games that are like $20, $15, like Harold Halibut and shit, like,
Mm-hmm.
like The Adventures of Benedict Fox, Ravenlock. Like, dude, you can't sit there and point fingers and complain. And these are the ones that are talking the loudest, like, I'm going to sell my Xbox.
Yeah.
How fucking stupid do you sound?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get
The solution,
more
Hebot.
value on PlayStation.
Yeah,
When
he bought. They sound here's really why they sound stupid to me. This game didn't sell well, so I'm going to
yeah,
sell
yeah.
the platform that the game's only available on,
Oh,
so they
no.
could never get my money. To show
Right,
Xbox, teach
right,
Xbox a
right.
lesson that they should. You see how stupid and
Not so,
convoluted
yeah,
it gets.
yeah.
So the
Like,
solution
how
to the
you gonna
game,
say I don't want Xbox to keep doing decisions like this if you're doing the very same thing that why they did it because there wasn't enough support.
yeah,
So by you not supporting it more or less, that's supposed to help. How stupid are you? But the other thing that with that, not only that, that's a great point. But what makes them look even dumber is where are you going to get on PlayStation? If everything on PlayStation you have to pay out flat out with your money. There's no options. You cannot get Game Pass. You cannot get backwards compatibility. You have to pay flat out for each game at full price, day and date. You do not get options. And right now, all their games that have released from from the last one and all the way to Stellar Blade, they have not done well.
yeah, they've all flopped. Every
What?
single one of them, and I
What?
could go back and pull up
And those
the
are third
articles.
party. And those are third party. Third party. They don't have no first party game until the end of 2025, which is supposed to be another Spider-Man game or Wolverine, one of those.
Yeah,
So again, what does Sony have to offer you? Why would I go to a platform where I'm getting absolutely no value for my dollar in my system or on my ecosystem?
yeah.
Like why? Why?
And,
For what?
he bought that. That's why I titled the video what I did because
Yeah, the title's
all
fine.
yeah, Xbox has bad news, and everybody in this chat has pretty much said what I said. It sucks,
Mhm.
but don't sit here and tell me that all of a sudden you have this trust in Sony. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
playing on PlayStation from now on.
yeah.
When they and then you sent me a bunch of shit. I can't even put all that on screen. You sent me so much.
You
I'm
seen all the shit that goes
I'm
down,
gonna
but I
keep
sent you because I know you can put it up.
yeah,
So
but
tell me how much shit they've
I'm
done.
keeping receipts. But as you see on screen, Gravity Rush developer just banned Studio. That didn't cause them to sell their PlayStation. Yeah,
Absolutely.
PlayStation games. Some of the stuff you sent me. Um, Sony boss has no idea what happened to Capcom Deep Down, which I think was exclusive that got shut
Absolutely.
down. They shut down Drive Club developer. You know what I'm saying? So my question.
SOE, Sony of Japan Studio, all that shit shut down. Hello? Can you hear me? Unlimited. Back. Unlimited. Back. No, we're not arguing. I'm talking.
The strawberry shortcake, the thing. Stop playing.
Can you hear me? Unlimited. Unlimited. Damn, I don't know if you can hear me. Fuck. Limited.
here.
You can't hear me in here. I think the
No, here
signal
is a metal.
dropped.
Yeah, there's
Fuck.
a metal.
Mic check. All right. Can y'all hear me? Uh, hopefully the sound wasn't off for too long there. Yeah, hopefully the sound wasn't off for too long there. That'll be upsetting because I was going through the comments, man. I was going through the comments. Yeah, but Shizno said people don't seem to buy games anymore. They want everything for free. It's destroying the industry. And yeah, to that I was saying, Shizno, oh god man, the volume was up for like 10 minutes. Oh, that's upsetting, man. Fucking technical issues. Anyway, Shizdo said people don't seem to buy games anymore. They want everything for free. It's destroying the industry. Oh yeah, okay. Now I remember what I was saying. Um, basically, 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 I was saying, yeah, I've noticed that there are a lot of people who have that, that there might be a low key curse to the Game Pass mentality of I'll just wait till it hits Game Pass, just know, right? And and that might be causing it. I mean, for select people, it's hard to say. I can't. It's hard to pinpoint one. One. You know what I'm saying. It's very hard when there are millions upon millions of gamers. Shinzo, it's hard to pinpoint one reason for anything. The truth is, there's multitude of reasons. There's probably financial reasons for some. Some are waiting for it to be on Game Pass. Some just don't have interest in these games. Some are just happy playing the same games over and over. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a gamers aren't buying games anymore, there are a million reasons why, and it'll be hard for me to pinpoint just one reason. Emmanuel A1 said, "We don't have to buy content. We watch Netflix, Hulu, but we have to be shamed in buying games on Game Pass, huh?" Yeah, man. It's when it comes to this topic, it's more so that it's just that we understand that these games, especially the AAA games, Emmanuel, are just so insanely expensive that we're trying to make sense on what's the best path to success. Uh, my 2 cents. Listen, what Hebot says does not represent me one to one. It does not mean that I agree with every single thing he's saying. He's speaking his mind, and I'm not interrupting him speaking his mind, right? So Hebot feels that way. For me, it's like, okay, if you're playing the game, you're playing the game, and it's on game. The games are on Game Pass for a reason. My thing is just then that for me personally, Emmanuel, I don't have problem buying a game that I played on Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have done it that way. But you're right. You're right. If you feel like I'm shaming people for not buying games on Game Pass, let me know. Let me know in the future so I could kind of correct myself there because that's true. I don't look, man. Most gamers do not have the collection that probably a lot of us have. Hundreds and hundreds of games. They might have dozens at most. You know what I'm saying? So it's irrational, Emmanuel, for me to expect gamers to just spend money on everything the way I do. That's nonsense. And but yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes you guys make good points, and it's kind of hard for me to fucking argue, man. And I see that. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no sound for a minute there. That really pisses me off, man. That really pisses me off that I had no sound for that damn long. Holy shit. Uh, oh, that's aggravating. Nah, man. Shitty PCs. Jojo, to put it into perspective, man, the PC that I use is the same PC my ass had in college, and you know what I'm saying. So this is just old ass hardware. I'm going to upgrade my damn PC eventually, man, because it's reaching a point where it's just a nuisance to be dealing with this stuff, right? Just a damn nuisance. I started up Gears 5, kind of played for a while, and wow, does it look amazing. Yeah, oh yeah, Gears looks phenomenal. Love Gears, man. I'm playing Gears 4 for the first time. I'm stuck on the train part. I beat Gears 4, so you know I'm gonna have to go back and rethink the train part, see if I could help you out there, Dea. I don't think these dudes realize how funny they sound. I'm cracking up at how pissed they are. Yeah, I ain't even pissed, man. I'm just trying to make sense of this shit. I'm just trying to make sense, JoJo, on why for some people, you know, okay, you sell your Xbox when Hi-Fi, you know, Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall devs unfortunately shut down. Cool, I get that. What I don't understand is why okay, Sony has shut down studios and games, Embracer shut down studios and games, Tencent shut down studios and games. I think Take Two was doing layoffs recently. You know, every other part of the industry, I don't see JoJo gets this the same amount of backlash. Like nobody sold their PlayStations when Sony shut down anything. And yet you're out here saying that I'm pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm literally just asking a question, and I'm not getting any answers.
Dude, it's bullshit.
I'm going through the
It's
chat,
all
Joe,
bullshit.
and not a single person has explained to me on why why they're okay when Sony shuts down studios, but they're not okay when Xbox does it. You know,
Dude,
nobody.
how does anyone think that a company that's only worth 74 billion as a whole, and we're talking about the PlayStation division, versus a company that is the vision of Xbox is over 700 billion with two digits, right?
Mhm.
How do you think that you can even come close to competing and that they're the ones in trouble? No, these internal problems with ZeniMax and with the fucking studios alike, you know, because people seem to forget that Redfall game, they weren't even going to make it.
Mhm.
Microsoft said, go ahead, do it, give it a shot. And that's why they did the game, right? But they didn't come to Microsoft and ask them for help because they never did a online game, right?
Mhm.
So they didn't come to internal to Microsoft to ask them for help to create the game. And so the word is that also that they were given a year to fix the game. And that's what they done to the point. But again, again, every time that they say Microsoft did something because it was malicious and because they don't give a fuck, has always came out to be false. They
Right.
said Bungie left because they didn't have creative freedom. That's why they left. What happened? Bungie admitted that was never the case. Many years later, but that was never the case. When they said Microsoft don't give a fuck Japanese games, Platinum Games, Scalebound, they fucking said suck. They closed it down. They don't care what happened. Platinum Games came out and said that's not true. It was not their fault. It was us. What happened with Fable? Same shit. Closed it down, and what they did, reinvest it, and now they got the people who did the Horizon game making another Fable after they spent $75 million. Same thing with Peter Molyneux years ago with fucking Lionhead Studios. All this other dumb shit they were trying to say was Microsoft when it wasn't. It was because Peter Molyneux left Lionhead Studios, and the team was no longer in the same type of mindset, and they didn't feel the same as he came on and quoted and said it. It's always bullshit. And I don't understand why people do not get it. Why don't you get it? Microsoft is a target because they're the biggest conglomerate in gaming right now because they got the deepest pockets. So anytime they do something, they target them because they're the ones who bring the big revenue for those media sites and outlets on YouTube or on a regular website. All it is they're trying to cash in, and the worse they make it sound, the more fucking traffic they get. And every time it comes out to be, was it Microsoft's fault Or when we find out the actual reason, it's an actual logical and good reason why it happened. And then everybody's like, oh, whatever. And they try to act like, oh, we didn't know, we didn't hear that, or maybe it's bullshit. Why they took so long to say something. Microsoft don't gotta explain nothing to nobody. They're a fucking $3 trillion company. We don't work for them. We don't work for them. If you feel that you're that betrayed and that you're getting that jerk, even though you got Game Pass, even though they gave us backwards compatibility, forwards compatibility with all peripheral, give us all type of great access to the ecosystem. We still can rent and buy movies and do all types of other things on the Xbox Online ecosystem. If you feel like you're being jerked, even though you're getting all that value for your dollar, or you can buy a console literally in layaway style through Xbox All Access and pay for it $37 a month with no interest for 2 years, including Game Pass and online for 2 years, yet you're still complaining and saying, oh, I'm going to go to Sony or Nintendo. Bro, then sayonara, because you're a fucking fool. You're an idiot. You're a fucking fool. The whole reason why they put the games on PlayStation is because they were trying to help and see if they would make some money somewhere else so that they would be, get some type of revenue. That's what they did with Hi-Fi Rush. And what happened? Nobody bought it. Redfalls, they didn't do it because Redfalls did semi-good. And plus, they were pushing the controllers and other stuff, which you bought all of them. So more people bought them. They all did well. So it's not like they didn't help push the game, market the game, or try to help the game. That's marketing. Whether people want to believe it or not, that's a form of marketing. Okay? And it's effective because people like it, right? The whole point is, if it's Microsoft, and we've said this, me and E-Rock said this since 2013, it's always doom and gloom and bullshit and all kinds of stupid shit. Like, they don't belong here. They're destroying the industry. They don't care. They don't care about developers. They don't care. Now it's they don't care about developers. Now it's why they spend all. I heard some dumbass say, why they spend all that money buying shit if they were going to close it down. It's like, dumbass. The fucking Gundam, but that's the acquisition came with all those studios with them to begin with. They were studios that were owned by Bethesda, not Microsoft. So when they bought Bethesda, all those studios came with it and with the purchase. So if they liquidate some studios by closing them down, right, to actually allocate to the bigger projects, because they clearly said we're going to try to concentrate on AAA games. Everybody can say that they need AAA, and that's all they need. Remember, that's what they've been saying for the last 10 years. Have that not? Is that not what they've been saying?
Yeah. They only care.
The only thing we've been hearing is Microsoft needs AAA. All they do is single A. All they do is double A. All they do is indie games. So now they're consolidating and saying we're going to focus completely on AAA because this is where the most expense goes to make the best games with the best developers and give them more resources, meaning manpower and whatever they need, like money. Now they're trying to fucking move the goalpost. They don't care about indie games. They don't care about full games. Now Hellblade's going to come out. If you don't do well, that means they're going to shut them down. Like, no, you dumb pricks. Hellblade is done by a smaller studio, but Hellblade is a AAA quality production and presentation value type of game. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
There's a big difference. And that's why I don't see.
But speaking of Hellblade, stop with the doom and gloom of fake concern about Hellblade and Ninja Theory being shut down and all that shit.
Exactly. They're so stupid. Oh, I love Hellblade. I played it 3 times, but I have no interest in playing because I see no marketing. What? Do you know how stupid you sound? If you're a fan of a franchise, just like we and you are fans of Space Marine. When I saw Space Marine 2, all I needed to see was one trailer and I'm sold. That's it. I don't care. I'm buying it day one. Right? Because I'm a fan. I know what the type of game that I like and it's going to deliver. They've only literally shown 2 trailers and then the release trailer for the special edition of the game. They're not marketing the game heavy because it's not time for the game to come out. But I already have mine paid off, just like you. I made the pre-order. I paid it off because that is my game. I love Space Marines. Just like I pre-ordered already Hellblade. And if they get a physical copy, I'm going to buy it too. Right. You think Hi-Fi Rush, so they shut them down, they do a physical, I'm not going to buy it? I'm going to buy it. It's not going to matter. I'm buying it. Because I love the game.
They did a physical version through limited run for some reason. And
it's not even available yet. It hasn't come out.
Okay.
But I'm going to buy it. Once they put it up, okay, I'm going to buy it. I'm gonna buy it because I want that game physical because I love that game. Even though I haven't beaten it, because yes, you can go look at my receipts. I haven't beat it. No, I have not. I haven't had a chance to beat it because the game. I haven't been able to beat a lot of games unless they're fucking half-hour games like old arcade games because I haven't too much on my plate.
Yeah,
But I've definitely
Jojo, look, man, I don't mind if you have a dissenting opinion, but you're borderline on trolling, and I don't do the trolling shit. If PCs go so great, go watch a PC podcast. This ain't called trust in Sony, but not in PC makes no sense. This is about
I just
console.
want to add something to that. I don't believe for 1 minute JoJo is a PC gamer. I think this is a troll coming under the guise of PC. Just saying.
Yeah,
I've challenged him on that.
and if you're
And,
trolling because you prefer PlayStation, then you're a coward. Because I've been asking all fucking show. Okay, if what Xbox is doing upsets you, why don't PlayStation not? And he about sends me a bunch of shit, so I could put a proof.
I have already proved that Sony's closed down more studios than Xbox.
Yeah,
I already
they closed down more studios and canceled more games, and so that's even worse. But yeah. But if you troll, I understand the trolls are the only ones who get blocked. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like consoles, but get the fuck out of here. But
You know what's also funny? You know what's also funny? That these PC guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dea knows because Dea is a PC gamer also, right?
yes,
PC guys, like the PC ecosystem hasn't gotten better because of Microsoft's Game Pass and other things that they've done.
Right.
Well, to be honest, a lot of people on that I play with on PC, if I don't tell them, I've said this before. I'm pretty honest about everything. I don't care who likes what I say or don't. Most PC gamers don't have Game Pass PC that I'm around. I've told them about it. I've tried to educate them on it. They don't seem to fully grasp it. They just see it as another subscription service. I think I told you guys this before. Some people know it. Like a couple of my friends tried it out, then stopped. It was something about the subscription model that didn't fit them. So they just went back to buying their games. I'm okay with that if that's what people want to do, right? But I don't see a ton of people. If they do, they might pick it up and then they might drop it or something. I think when Xbox is probably more consistent with some of the games that might fit them, because PC gamers like different things, that's the one thing that I think console people confuse PC gamers with. They don't like, for instance, they don't flock to the PlayStation model of games, over the shoulder, all of that. They may play some of them, but they don't flock to those type of games.
Time out. Joe, you're calling people losers. That's the shit that gets you kicked out, my friend. You're not going to insult the chat or my panel. That's a no, man. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line on that shit, man. But continue, Dave.
Okay, yeah. So what I mean is that Xbox understands this. That's why on if you guys ever take a look at Game Pass PC, the games there sometimes are different because they cater more to the PC.
Okay, Dave. So can I ask you a question? Since I trust your opinion and I respect your thoughts and your opinion, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
As a PC gamer as well, right?
Right.
Do you feel that Microsoft has helped the ecosystem of PC be better? Or do you feel that it helped it be worse?
I think that this is my personal experience of what I've used. So I'm only going to talk to you about what I've used: the PlayStation, I've used Xbox, I've used Steam, I've used Epic. So I'm going to go off of those 4 platforms. In my opinion, Xbox have influenced Steam. I have seen Steam pick up things that Xbox originally did in the console, and vice versa. Steam is also innovative. I try to tell people this, that Steam does what Xbox does, but on the PC platform, they're innovative too. And I noticed that when I was giving Xbox feedback about what I didn't like about the PC launcher of Xbox, which I told you guys about, none of this is new. I think I said this, and maybe Realist or somebody else who plays both too, like I do. that I was telling them it was certain things that Steam implemented that I think works and that I think will work on their platform for the PC audience. So, but what I've noticed is that they do a lot of things similar to cloud saving, the things like that. That's something that don't even exist on PlayStation unless you pay for it. You do not pay for that on Steam. You do not pay for that on Xbox. So it's a lot of similarities between the two platforms. I think if you do get a person who's negative on PC about Xbox, is either they've been burned by Microsoft way back in the 90s or something like that, right? Or they don't like Windows, or they just rebellious, they only use Linux, this and that. That's something completely different that have nothing to do with the gaming condition of Microsoft.
And they're banned for completely different reasons. Because the reason why most people that hate Xbox because of the Linux incident, for example, is because they wanted to pirate games and Microsoft stop them from doing that, or because they wanted to do more relation and they couldn't do it with Microsoft shit. That's a completely different story and conversation, which I know about as well.
So sorry to cut you off. So, hold on one second, but sorry to cut you off, but let me address this real quick. Chat, I do not care if you have a different opinion from me. I don't. However, I've made it clear, and I'm going to make it clear here because I just get rid of somebody. You're not going to come here, call people losers, call people soft, think insulting people is quote unquote free speech. Guys, I'm not the U.S. fucking government. All right, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I like my chat to be civil, like have discussions, disagree, but keep it civil. And once you stop being civil, once you stop trolling and all that other stuff, that's the stuff that gets you out of here. And I'm look, guys, I'm just not going to tolerate it because I've seen other. Listen, I love 100, but I ain't trying to have the type of chat 100 has when people be in that saying the dumb shit that PlayStation sold 71 million and Xbox 4 millions, all that stupid shit. This is for people who likes gaming, like talking about gaming, and have discussions. That I've let plenty of Nintendo and PlayStation fans enjoy the show, and I want you to enjoy the show. But I've noticed that if I let one person come in here and start trolling, that's just going to open the floodgates for more people, and then the chat is just going to be arguing over nonsense, and then arguing with us, and that's not the type of show this is. This is a discussion-based show, guys.
Intellectual conversation.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I let Metal Face Doom be all as angry as he wanted to, and I understood his anger, and I didn't kick him out. Why? Because he was not trolling; he was just upset.
He was just upset.
No, he was disrespectful.
But Jojo, you were crossing that line, man, and you. I don't care if you think I'm soft or if you left or not, but this chat, man. This chat is real. This is a fantastic chat, and I'm keeping it that way for a reason. So just a warning for anybody that thinks you could come in here and be like, man, y'all are idiots and this and that shit. No.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
this guy
was. I'm telling you, he was looking for a reaction. I can recognize that in people, and I was trying to tell people he's trolling. This guy was looking for every reason. He's feeding off of your negative energy, and that's what I've been seeing with the PlayStation guys. I'm just saying, I think this is who that is, but I don't know him. But that's where he comes up. I don't know anybody who goes on these platforms who's PC and loving their PC. They don't care about it. They don't come to these platforms and let you get the tiny minute group that does that, and that's very small. I rarely ever see that, and I go to a lot of different platforms, podcasts. I'm sorry, to see that. I don't see nobody acting like that except PlayStation people. PlayStation people are on a whole nother level with this fanboyism. It's like a cult, So that's what I was seeing there. I don't see nobody acting like no cult over no PC. PC is just however you use your unlimited use here for work. Okay, it's not nothing to be worshiping. You change out your PCs like people change their PCs or upgrade it and do whatever with them things all the time. It's not nothing to be worshiping. It's just a machine. Like I don't understand that stuff. And so I don't understand this cultism that I'm seeing. But yeah, to answer but I think also Google Poll did make some good points that I did not bring. He's right about GOG. GOG is a very popular platform for PC. I'm not on it yet, but I'm going to. That's because I'm just slow to. I know about GOG. I know a lot of people use it. But because I don't use it enough to speak on it, that's why I said that. But he's absolutely right. He says the PC group that he's around are on Game Pass. That's great to hear. The people that I've been talking to, don't seem to keep up with the news as much, and so oftentimes I have to educate them on things.
And by the way, that's the reality of most gamers. They don't keep up with the news. As much as people that I see the overreactions he bought, the truth of the matter is that the average person who's walking into GameStop this morning has no clue that Tango Gameworks was shut down. And I use GameStop because that's a video game store. But just to use an example.
Absolutely, they probably don't even know what a Tango Gameworks is, or
they had no clue what Hi-Fi Rush even was.
Right, and they don't even know what Hi-Fi Rush is, because Hi-Fi Rush is something that you could only discover if you were on an Xbox console online digitally. You see what I'm saying? Right. And even on Nintendo and PlayStation, it's digital. You can't discover the game unless you're online digitally. So it's not something you're just going to discover. That's why I always said that they needed to have a physical right from day one, and that would have helped that game soar even more, because it's the type of game that catches people's attention.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't know if it would have helped on PC because everything.
Oh, hey, sorry, hold on, Tuck. Huh? Sorry, Tuck. I forgot you just made it in.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay, hi, Tuck.
That's the reason why that's the reason why I like our group of characters so much, because we just have good conversations about gaming.
Yeah.
It's like my friend, he called me. Hey, the one I told you that cussed me out about the Helldivers?
Mm-hmm.
He went on, they called me up yesterday. He said, Miguel, you know what? I'm sorry. I was just so much into my feelings. And I said, that's what I'm just trying to tell you. We just having a conversation. I'm just calling you to ask you about what you think about the situation with Helldivers. But when he turned around and found out that they had 107 something countries being affected by this, he said, okay. He called me up. He said, I apologize to you, because I didn't know there was 177 countries.
Yeah, 177. Yeah.
Look, you know what's the unfortunate thing of this whole thing? The people that lost their jobs. But with that being said, these are people that are well prepared with good positions that they will be able to find something and rebound. And they get good comprehensive packages to help them for a few months, sometimes even up to a year.
Yeah.
So it's not like if like somebody like us loses our job, right?
Yeah.
Because we're let's say middle class or lower class, or not really have a lot of income, whatever the case may be. Again, and I'm not calling nobody poor. I'm just giving you an example, right? Mm-hmm. We'll really be affected because we don't have no backup severance package. Most companies and people you work for don't give you that.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So that's a different that's a whole different type of position, idea, whatever the case may be. That's the first thing. The real problem and the real unfortunate thing is the people lost their jobs. That's number one. No, we're not celebrating that they closed it down. Absolutely not. I think Tequila Works is one of the best companies that nobody cared about. Okay? And it speaks for itself, because if you look at the game sales for Evil Within and Evil Within 2, which were fantastic games, better than the Resident Evil series, to be honest with you, which a lot of people don't want to hear that, but they are. Okay? They didn't make no money. The sales weren't enough. Tokyo Ghostwire didn't sell. And now Hi-Fi Rush only did well in its initial release. After that, it plateaued. Yeah, so let's be realistic.
Let's not forget, the game didn't even crack the top 100 on PlayStation 5.
That's what I'm saying, brother Unlimited. And that's why they try to put it there to make some money. And it didn't do nothing. Because all that rhetoric about PlayStation, this is the game that belongs on Sony. This is the type of game that represents Nintendo. Bullshit. It's all talk. Everybody loves to talk. But when it comes down to show, nobody does it. No, people just because you have the most. No, because I'm best still regardless of rhetoric.
Oh, you bought bad. He bought.
I mean, it's like,
how about now?
All right, yeah, you sound pretty good.
Okay, so real quick to finish it up before you keep going, Tucker. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. people were asking me, well, you should be the most mad because you invested the most money. Listen, I have like 5,000 games on Xbox alone, and that's physical. That's between Xbox OG, 360, Xbox One, and the Series X. Now, digitally, I got 1,700 games. Digitally.
Holy moly.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
I have four Xbox Series S's in my house, and 2 S's for my daughters. So 6 consoles. Okay. And I have 5 controllers, 3 of them elites. Okay. Why do I care? Because that bullshit of so much. Look, you're not going to invest all that money and walk away and go on to another console. That was Phil's whole argument. He said they lost the worst generation they could have lost because all the people invested digitally and on the PS4, and they both built the library that they're not going to and built again. So don't go with that crap. If you got 500, 800 games, you're not going to leave Xbox. Why?
You button again.
You bought again.
Okay, because they're not going to go to Xbox games on your library. Just start all over.
Yeah. Button bad. He bought.
Yeah, I can't.
Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find a spot.
Yeah, go ahead and take a minute. I'm gonna get back to the chat because the main purpose was to hang out with the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
What about
so yeah, you sound all right, but I'm gonna address the chat for a little bit, Hebot. So hold your thoughts for just a moment. Goggle said, I agree. PC gamers don't buy the new console type games at full price. Actually, I don't think console gamers do either. People usually wait. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I pay attention to numbers a lot, Goggle. Every game has that initial sales. The most sales I believe is usually when a game first came out, and that's because the people who want it are going to pay for it full price. That's where most of the revenue comes from, and then usually get that second sales bump when it goes on sale. That's why Sony in particular is really notorious for this, Goggle, of showing numbers after a game is say bundled with the console or has a major sale to like $20-$30, right? Because that's when the next sales bump comes, and it's usually holiday sales as well as the fourth quarter is for, like Nintendo once said, fourth quarter in the U.S. market is where a huge percent of their annual revenue comes from, and I think profits in general. So just to put into perspective of how most people usually spend money, when it initially comes out, those of us who don't mind paying full price are going to do so, and then after that, the next sales, usually around holiday season, is the next sales bump. But by then, when it's on sale, it's kind of diminishing the returns because you're not paying as much for those games. And the truth is, when you're paying $20 on Spider-Man 2 this holiday, when it was initially $70 upon release, you know what I'm saying? The amount of money Sony's going to make back from a game like that going to be vastly different than when it first came out. So yeah, good point there. Mr. Keeman said you should ban the toxic PlayStation fanboys. Yeah, I do when they come in, but here's the thing: not every PlayStation fan is toxic. So just we got to be real here. We don't live in a black and white world where, as much as the usual suspects PlayStation guys are annoying as hell, not every single person who plays on PlayStation out there like, man, fuck Xbox. A lot of them just like PlayStation. It's literally that simple. And so I don't mind if they come in and hang out, like my good homie who pops in once in a while, Mike Johnson.
Yeah, Mike Johnson is cool. He's okay. Yeah.
But go ahead, Hebot. It sound like you want to say something.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still body.
Yeah, you
still botting to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
you botting.
It's bad because I can't understand them at all.
Yeah.
We might look. Maybe we can just go to Tuck a little bit or read some more stuff. Or
yeah. Well, let me address the chat, man, because that's the main reason I did this.
Oh, okay, sure, I'm good.
I don't know. Did you see our show yesterday? We went like 2 hours talking about it yesterday.
You did. You're doing marathons now. I'm so proud of you.
No, 2 hours is not a marathon. That's just a long ass show. A marathon is 3 or more hours.
Junior, unlimited. Marathon Junior.
Royal Flush said it's human nature to worship things. People worship items all the time during the biblical ages. Yeah, and we see that today with stuff like celebrity worship and all that stuff. GOG is nice. Some of the classics run under Windows XP for your retro builds. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
I game on PC and console. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. There we go. Radiance is like Dea, man. He does both the PC and the console.
And the consoles, yeah.
That's
I
what's
say
up,
best
man.
of both worlds, you know.
Yep.
Got comfort and access. So hey, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and that's cool. But for most of us, man, we just either don't have the time, don't have the resources, or don't feel like spending money on multiples for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Hey, look, I don't care how a person games. So as long as they gaming, they're one of us.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah, you know, I kind of got the Phil Spencer mentality on that too, man. If you want to just enjoy where you game, I don't police that. And like one of the things I most commonly say, Dea, is don't let me or anybody else ever tell you what to like.
That's right. Absolutely.
And Royal Flush says hardcore gamers are the minority. Yeah, well, I'll say this, Royal Flush. Unfortunately, hardcore gamers are clearly not enough to make a game successful anymore. No. I think back in the day, you know, when games weren't obscenely expensive, the hardcore game market, a nice little game sells 1 million copies back in the 6th generation. Yeah, that was probably the hardcore gamers enjoying that, and then we would get a sequel to maybe something that's a bit niche, right? Unfortunately, that's way tougher these days because there just aren't enough hardcore gamers, and that's how it is for literally all fandom. In the comic book fandom, most comic fans aren't the hardcore guys like me who knows the history and knows the ins and outs and all this other stuff. You name it, man. The sports fandom. Most people don't swallow sports the way some of the really, really passionate guys do and all that other stuff. Yeah, Twitter is 1,000,000% an echo chamber. And I find it, you know what, Radiance, Dea and Tuck, I always find it funny when people treat Twitter like the end all be all. But me and Zink been telling y'all for ages, man, Twitter is just like the tiny percentage. Guys, if your favorite YouTuber put a tweet out right now, at most 100,000, a couple 100,000 people are going to see it, unless they're like PewDiePie level popular, right?
Right.
Because Twitter, like the gaming community on Twitter is not some huge, massive gaming. They don't really influence games the way that they think.
They don't buy games. A lot of them guys, they spend more time on Twitter.
And so Dea, whenever I see the people on Twitter act like they're taking some moral stance, that to me, that's the goofy stuff to me. Because I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, the 10,000 people who saw your tweet, they are not making life decisions based off what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
And I do want to say something real quick before you continue reading. I just want to put this out here. These PlayStation guys that act like this is a problem of Xbox, no, it's them. Because most of the games that came from Arcane went to them first. And they didn't buy anything. And then you had Hi-Fi, which in my opinion, I owe Phil an apology. I just want to put this out here. I owe him an apology. I think after seeing everything that has come out now, I believe he was trying his best to save those studios when he put those games over there. I think it was a last-ditch effort to see if those games could do something, even though I don't believe he really thought that they would. I think he saw the numbers that was coming from PlayStation through the court cases. That's why things wasn't adding up to me. Things didn't make sense to me. And I was like, why is he doing this? But with all of it, with more information coming out like this, I think this was the last thing he tried to do. And I think he tried to give a little hint of that when he did that sit down with Sarah and Matt Booty, when he was saying that, they're trying their best not to raise prices on the player and all that stuff. They're trying to find a solution. And I think he was trying through the words to let us know, hey, these studios are in trouble and we're trying to find a way to save them. But we need to move these games somewhere else where it's a potential that the games can earn some money. But now I don't believe Sea of Thieves was probably running at the end of its life, so I think it was for that reason for Sea of Thieves. And I think for Grounded did really good for such a small game, but I think that was also a test to see if people would take to a game like that. I think it was for a lot of things, but I think for games like Hi-Fi, I think it was to try to save it.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty clear with Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush. that was
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah,
And by the way,
Hi-Fi
for those
Rush,
who were worried about Obsidian, Pentiment was made by Obsidian. They're fine.
they're
They're
absolutely
fine.
fine. Oh my gosh, they
You know,
got a lot of
they're you
successes.
know, yeah, they listen, guys. We are not insiders. So everything we say on the why it might have happened is literally speculation. So whenever people who talk about this stuff pretend like they're speaking facts, it really is
Yeah.
they don't know. They know about as much as we do. The only thing that we're going to find out is that eventually somebody at Microsoft might say something. That's it. That's it. And then once that happens, we'll give our opinion on it, and then that'll be it. But other than that,
Mhm.
right now, this is just a speculation phase because it's shocking news. It's
It is,
shocking
yeah.
news.
Yeah.
I know for a fact all of us here has praised and played Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush.
And
None of the people
Ghostwire.
that
I talked about Ghostwire so much. I was
yeah
trying to get people
yeah
to play Ghostwire because it's
yep
such a good game to me.
yep.
You know,
I played that live on my YouTube
Yeah,
channel,
Ghostwriter
man.
was good.
it was
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I bought that
You-
game. I bought. See, I can talk about this. Is I bought Hi-Fi, I bought Ghostwire, and I bought Redfall. All three of those games. That's
Mhm.
how much I liked them. But people, they went so hard on Redfall for so long, like just not letting the game go and letting Arcane work on the game to improve it, to the point that the damage was done because even sometimes, even when they brought up Blade, they was like, oh, it ain't the team that worked on Redfall, is it? It was like it was so bad
Mhm.
that the game was never that bad. Like I've seen worse. In my opinion, Spider-Man was in a worse state than that game was. When it came out, you falling through the ground, and it got invisible skins and all that. You seeing the head flow. I didn't see any of that in Redfall. I didn't see that. So
Mhm.
I just it's sad because none of these people cared about Arcane. None of these people bought any of their games. Me and you and Tuck, all of us did, and none of them even tried these games. Some of the games went to them first before it even came to the Xbox platform, and they did nothing. They didn't try the games. They didn't buy it. They didn't do anything.
Right.
And so they can't talk. All I wanted to say about that is that they're not in a position to say anything.
Right.
But this is the fault of the gamer not supporting the games, and for whatever.
Yeah, it's multifaceted. It's multifaceted.
Yeah, I think it's more than one thing, but I do believe gamers are in part to blame for that. If you don't like something, that's fine. You don't like it, but then don't whine about it if the studio disappears because of it.
And another thing, that I've come to accept is that when it comes to great games, the reality of the situation is there's nothing a great game could do that's going to win some people over. You know what I'm saying? There's a large percentage, as we see, like Hi-Fi Rush has been on Game Pass for over a year now, and there are plenty of people on Game Pass who are scrolling through that game who passed it, who might have seen it on their home screen and all this other stuff, who passed it and had no interest in it. Not as you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it doesn't matter, and it wouldn't have mattered if Sony if Xbox put out a million commercials before, whatever the case is, or whatever the people think marketing is and advertisement is these days, right? The truth of the matter is that games are like niche games exist for a reason, and it just seems like something like Hi-Fi Rush might have been that. And then lastly, and this specifically with Hi-Fi Rush, I think Redfall unfortunately is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. Yeah,
I think Hi-Fi Rush is going to be one of them games that we'll either see a remaster in 10 years or a surprise sequel to.
Yeah,
my gut tells me Hi-Fi Rush is not dead. Like the studio dying does not mean a game is dying.
They still have the IP.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because remember, EA closed down. I think it was Visceral Studios, and then I think they remastered or remade some of those games after it was dead.
Yeah,
So that's just another thing. Redfall, unfortunately, that game went it's gone the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Instrumental, thank you for joining Instrumental. You said I like Nier Automata. So did I, man. I enjoyed the Nier games.
Yeah.
They could be a little wonky, but at least they try to be creative, man, with the gameplay.
Yeah.
Twitter's like the old lady who gossips in your building, pretty much. Hey, Prime, man, what's up, NWO Prime? Shout out to NWO Prime. If y'all think, just wait. If you think it's just for y'all delusional, I mean, we'll see, but You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about the number
the
of
4
games that's
games.
gonna
Yeah,
go
the
over?
4 games.
Man, and look, I'm gonna say this. Just wait. The gaming economy is in way worse shape than we think it is, and
Yeah.
I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised by what
It's
Xbox
real
does,
bad.
Sony, EA, Ubisoft. You name it. Just don't be surprised by anything because it's not in a good state right now. It's just that's just facts.
Yo, just wait. The number one thing this generation has taught me is never say never.
Yeah.
So I listen. That phrase is out of my vocabulary. From now on, after everything I've done experience in the gaming world since 2020, man.
Yeah. Racer's been falling apart. I mean, it's just it's all over.
Yeah. I am I try not to assume nothing.
Me either.
And just expect hope for the best, really.
I'm just hoping it's not a crash, but it might end up being one anyway. I've lived through one of them, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, and I tell you right now, this is my whole concept of this, and it's just a miracle how people just want to blame Microsoft on how these studios are closing down, and these studios is in trouble before Microsoft even purchased them.
Before they bought them,
before they even purchased them, and they was over there trying to save them. And the good thing about it, not everybody lost their jobs. They put them in other positions.
Yeah.
So,
but the fact is, though, businesses are making decisions to keep themselves afloat, and that's just what it is. And yes, Microsoft is making money, but at the same time, people are not factoring in the economy. People are not buying things like they were before. Also, inflation. It's a lot of things that's at play, and and then Microsoft work with different markets. So you also have to look at that. There's games that cost a lot more in some other markets than they do here in America.
Excellent point. Again, everything's so multifaceted that there's just no. I listen, guys. If there's one thing that this podcast made me realize is that there's just no one answer to any of this stuff. It's just that everything's kind of just coming together to make this situation happen. And so we could point fingers all day, and whoever we point is probably correct. It's just how much a percentage it's correct.
Right. Because what I'm really interested in seeing since all these YouTubers is dogging out the Star Wars game, I'm interested in how many of that's gonna sell. Because they dogging that game so doggone bad. I mean, is it gonna sell any good? I mean,
well, it depends on
I got beef. What one thing that really pissed me off was people purposely took a weird screenshot of the woman, and then I went and checked out the video. She is not as ugly as that one screenshot that you chose, man. And it really pissed me off because people are so hypersensitive right now about how women look in games that I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, I'm one of them people. They are uglifying women. I stand on that. I don't like it, but I just let that be up. Look, it's up to people to decide if they want to play an ugly character through a whole game or not. If that's okay for them, and if they can mod it out or something, then maybe they should let them mod it out or something, But I just say if somebody don't like something in a game, regardless of what that is, they have a right to turn it. It's their money at the end of the day. It's up to the developer to give the customer what they want, right? And even if they come out with a good game, sometimes, like we was talking about with hi-fi, sometimes it's not what people are looking for. They're looking for something different. So I think that's going to be something that all publishers are going to have to figure out, and developers. They're just going to have to figure out what people just might not like that Star Wars game. They just might not like it.
But there's a difference between not liking it and hating it before it's released. Come on,
they should give it they don't have to buy it to do that, but they should at least maybe look at a review or something to see if it's something that they'll like.
No, come on, Dad. Let's keep 100. A lot of them are actively trying to persuade people not to buy the game. I'm seeing what they're saying. They're actively
why are they doing that? Let me ask you that.
From some it's how the woman looks, which I don't think she looks ugly, but to each their own. So if they think she look ugly, fair enough. And for others, it's because they keep saying the game costs $120, but that's just the deluxe version. And a bunch of games that'd be like getting upset when Starfield had the deluxe edition that was $100.
Right.
Which that don't really make sense to me. Just buy the base version or do what everybody in the chat they say they do and wait for a sale.
If the demand is great enough, they will. If it's not, though, they can just wait for a sale. If that's the problem, then they have a right to say, hey, I'll wait for a sale. I do that with games all the time. If I don't think it's if I don't think it's worth the price that they're asking, then I'm not going to pay. Like a lot of people is going to pay that for what's that, GTA 6 or what? I'm not, because I don't play GTA games, but you know, I'm going to watch a lot of people pay that kind of price on them games. That's why I know there's a bunch of hypocrites out there. Yeah. But I'm not going to do it. But if somebody doesn't want to do that, I'm not going to tell them that they should be paying for something that they don't want to pay for. As for the girl, I would just say if the game is moddable, maybe they can mod it out. You know, like that's a simple solution. They could just get a skin and make her look better, you know. And that's you know, if they really want to play the game. If they're not interested in it in the beginning, then don't be disingenuous. Just say you're not interested in the game, you know, and leave it at that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Just say that she looks ugly and leave it at that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my thing is like, cool. You know, listen, I don't tell people what to buy.
I don't either.
You know, I know. Listen, I'm Mr. Positive. I'm going to be Mr. Positive because I genuinely love gaming and I'm interested in all these games that I talk about. So I ain't trying to persuade nobody. But you know, it's pretty routine for me to be like, okay, if you don't like the game, cool. But nah, so if you don't think that, like, I've seen way too many games impacted by not, you know, Gotham Knights failed because of the 30 frames per second. I played it.
I actually liked that game, and I bought it.
That's a good game.
Yeah. Suicide Squad 1's at a very beautiful frame rate, but that got hated, and then
and that got hated before it even came out.
Yeah, they wanted that to fail. I already knew they wanted that to fail, but how much they hated it when it was first announced. You know, so they're gonna.
Yeah,
so
I don't quite understand why they didn't like that game, though. I don't.
Yeah, they're gonna jump on it. Listen, the moment they found something negative, they're gonna hyper focus on it because that's what happens a lot too. So to me, that's not a big deal. Gets hyper focused, you know. And then with gaming, everything about gaming is such an option that it's hard for me to you know, it's hard for me to get super upset when you know, over these gaming businesses, because it's like, okay, if I don't like X game, I'll just play something else. You know?
That's how I am. It's games I haven't bought for certain reasons of my own, but I don't go around advertise it. I just don't buy it. You would never hear it from me unless I'm talking to you like in private as a friend or something about it. But
yeah, exactly.
That's the between the real gamer, y'all. That's the between the real gamer and these fake YouTubers. And the thing about it is, let's just be honest. Some of these
YouTubers, Joe, stop lying. They did not shut down over half the studio. What? Come on, man.
No.
Come on, man. This is why you guys got banned the first time, man. Well, put on timeout, I think is what I chose.
And not even all the four got shut down. Some got folded into other studios. What is he talking about?
Yeah, see, this is. Come on, man. We ain't doing that, man.
And see, this is what I'm saying. You listen to these damn YouTubers. That's what he's listening to.
See, that's what he's trying to do. That's why I don't like that JoJo in here, because he's baiting people, and this is what I don't like in chat rooms. If you want to have a discussion, that's fine, but that's not what he's looking for. He's looking to get under people's skin. We're trying to have a conversation here. We're talking about the gaming industry. This guy doesn't care about the gaming industry.
He trying to start an argument.
Thank you. That's what it seemed like to me. I want people in here who don't act like children, who actually want to talk about things about the industry, see what's going on, so we can learn about it, see what we can do to improve it if we can. Like maybe we need to change our outlook on how we buy games or something like that. That's what if you do that, that's fine. I don't care what you rate on. Okay, I don't care.
I genuinely don't. I don't like banning people, but man, listen, that's two strikes right there.
It has to be some control in there. That guy's just going after everybody. I'm like, this is why I don't get into certain people. I'm not gonna name people, but I don't go to certain people's podcasts anymore because they don't control the chat room, and I don't want to be upset. I want to have discussions. I want to talk about gaming and stuff. And I know sometimes the news is not always good, but that's what I want to do. You know, I don't want to be arguing and nitpicking over stuff. I'm a grown woman. I don't want to sit up here and talk like to a child and stuff about stuff like this. Oh, you know, Xbox ain't a PC, it's this and that. I don't care about that stuff. What I care about is where's the gaming industry going? What is going on with all these layoffs and these shutdowns of these? If you care about the industry, talk about that. That's all.
We got to be concerned about that, like you said, Dan. We got to be concerned about that because we're the true gamers that really just care about gaming. And if we don't do it, we don't care about gaming. but like I said, now when it comes down to the Star Wars games, now you got some of these people out here, some of these badass YouTubers out here. When that game come out, they're gonna find the littlest thing besides the girl. They're gonna find the littlest thing to destroy that game because their channel loves it. They love negativity.
Yeah, and you're right about that.
This is and some of it is disingenuous because I saw people say that the Hellblade girl looked ugly, and I'm like, no,
Hellblade.
she's actually
No,
beautiful.
she looks like
and her model, and her model's like a 1-to-1 rendering of her.
It is, yeah.
The only reason why she's dirty because the game takes place and that's because it's part of the damn story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like Hellblade is not a
muck and
bad
stuff.
type game. Yeah. It's not a Bayonetta type game with the sexy protagonist and all that stuff.
Right,
and I get it. You know, I love fine women as much as the next guy. I guess just for me personally, you know, when I play games, I don't be noticed. I'm not gonna lie. I fully admit I don't be noticing some shit then until it brought to my attention or I see people complain about it. Then I'll be like, oh I guess you kind of have a point. It was like when people were complaining about the Fable girl in the trailer. I was like, shit, I saw a funny trailer.
Oh man,
yeah. People, everybody was upset over the girl. I'm like, shit, I just saw a funny trailer. Yeah.
He gave me a different perspective, but I was like, she looks bad. I mean, she looks really, but you know, I was like, but he gave me a different perspective. So I said, okay, I definitely give Fable benefit of the doubt because there has to be, you don't deliberately make nobody look that bad on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so I can't wait to see the next trailer because you're right. That has to be a parody. You don't deliberately make somebody look that bad on purpose. So like, I was like, okay. I stepped back from that.
Yeah, and I would have never noticed if people didn't bring up a stink about it because like I said, all I saw was a funny trailer. I was not, you know what I'm saying? You know, when and then also my take is like, well, they're fake anyway, so you know, make them pretty. You know, make them ugly. I don't give a shit. It's not like it's a real woman I'm gonna talk to.
Yeah, it's not that way. It's just that, you know, sometimes I just don't understand why by default all modern women in gaming is ugly because as a woman myself, I just don't think that's realistic. I mean, what are they trying to say? Is that we're all ugly or something? I mean, I'm just wondering, you know, because I'm like, we don't all look like that.
No, that's for the low self-esteem women who be comparing themselves to fake shit, right? Yeah. And they'll think someone like that, you know, guys are really chasing after only Bayonettas or some shit. Like,
oh yeah, that's
lady,
not true.
they're fake. Yeah. You know, people, guys like pretty. Oh, surprise, surprise! We men love beautiful women. Wake me up when something new actually happens. You know,
right? Yeah.
You know,
it's like right now I'm playing Hellblade, the first one again.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm not even paying attention to the girl.
I am too. I'm playing that too.
I'm not even paying attention to her. I'm paying attention to the game. I mean, yes, she's there to look at, but I really don't even care. I mean, I'm there to play the game. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. Yes, she's not the best looking girl in the game because of what the scenery is. But in real life, she's a good looking young lady.
Yeah.
She's
so. I mean, like I said, it all depends on the scenery of what they doing with the game.
But she looks like a real woman. See that? I'm not trying to say people gotta look like models. She looks like a real one. Look, when I see Senua, she looks like a real woman. So I don't care what she looks like. She passes as like a person. Like I can see that being a woman. But it's this when they super uglify these women in some of these games. I'd be like, what are they trying to say here? Because you know, on a daily basis, even women who don't look as good as others, they work hard to look better. You know what I'm saying? They working hard to look like decent people.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's not. I don't know. I don't know what the message is behind that, but I'm just saying that was getting my attention. You know,
I think it's their attempt to placate to certain audiences, and I think those audiences are like, because I remember reading that you know, women are more likely to compare themselves to men with stuff like this, you know, with fantasy and video game related stuff.
Okay.
And there were like the studies has shown that it was literally making some girls feel bad about themselves, right? Over the you know, so while most guys just see a fake hot chick, you know, so a lot of girls were seeing I guess themselves or comparing themselves and then with more women working in the industry, They figure they think this is and this is all my assumption based off what I've read and what I think in the thought process is.
Okay.
You know, and that's how it came to that. Overall, you know,
So they
listen,
still,
like all guys, you know, I
you
like
know,
I like hot women, but it's got to be like
a balance, right?
yeah, balance,
Yeah,
and it's got to be like and for me to notice, it's got to be like the girl from The Last of Us 2. For me to notice, I'm not gonna lie, I did not notice this shit until it was pointed out, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you guys have a point, you know, because
well, maybe I noticed it because I am a female, and we kind of look at the female characters and like, you know, just started noticing like, okay, this one's, you know, don't look too hot, but okay, we can get past it. You know, for a while, you know, I was just dealing with it, but after a while, I was like, wait a minute now, you know, they getting worse, you know, they're not improving, you know?
Like, they're like, hold on, man,
like hold up here,
look ridiculous,
like what, you know, looking a little manly there sometimes and all that, like, you know, like I'm thinking of the girl from The Last of Us, like, whoa, you know, like it was getting pretty bad there, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on here, you know?
Yeah, Star Wars fans are not happy. To be fair, Sega forever, Star Wars fans have never been happy. When I was a kid, y'all Star Wars fans hated when George Lucas re-released the original trilogy with the CGI stuff. They hated the episodes 1 to 3. They hated the current trilogy. They hated the spin-offs. They hate, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised Star Wars is as big as it is, because if Star Wars is actually proof about how niche some audiences are, or at least how vocal the hardcores are. Because all my life, Star Wars fans have never been fucking happy about anything, and then at most, Sega forever, they end up being retroactively happy when the modern thing they hate ends up being worse than what they hated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we see what the because there's a lot of nostalgia right now between the episodes 1 through 3. But I remember those days like yesterday. They hated them fucking games. Every TV show that brought up Star Wars made fun of George Lucas and that trilogy. Yeah, and for them to sit here now, 20 years later, and be like, yeah, man, those are some great movies, and they should, you know, Disney should have learned from them. I just laughed because I like, you guys, listen, I kid you not, the way people hated the original trilogy, not the original trilogy, the prequels, the stuff they were saying back then is almost as bad as what they say now.
And I always thought that was overblown.
Listen, if you ever heard the phrase "X killed my childhood," it started from Star Wars fans saying that about the prequels.
It did.
That's where that phrase started from.
That. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, I put like this, y'all. I'm a big Star Wars fan. You know,
I was.
You know, it's like my favorite one was the Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
And the reason why it was because I want to see how Anakin turned bad.
Right.
We got people actually say, "Well, I didn't want." Hey, well, you know, we already knew how he turned bad. No, I want to see how it was going to develop, and want to see how he really turned bad.
Mm-hmm. And Tuck,
I love it.
And Tuck, if you were around in 2005, you would have had the minority opinion. There's this YouTuber called Red Letter Media, and one of their most popular videos from like over a decade ago was bashing the trilogy. Every comment from that time pretty much agreed with them, and that was the general consensus. Those 3 movies were terrible. They killed the franchise. They killed my childhood, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so, you're right.
Can you kill your childhood off?
Yeah. So Sega Forever, for me personally, it's hard for me to take Star Wars fans seriously, just because all my life, they've never been fucking happy, and I have no clue what makes Star Wars fans happy, man. No clue. Not even. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean it's like me. It's like on that one, like the one when not the first one with Ray, but the second one. Now the only thing I said about the second one is that I feel like JJ should have just gone and finished it off. He should have finished it off right, because of the fact that he should have brought Ray parents and see how her parents. He could have done that a whole lot different, because people didn't like that, because old girl kind of, the old girl director kind of ruined it a little bit.
Right.
Now I'm like, okay, you can't ruin Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, but that's the only thing I said about that. I thought JJ should have finished the trilogy like he should have done. I mean, like he did the first one when he took over the
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Because of the current trilogy, the first one was the best received out of the three. The second one was just was so stupid.
Yeah,
Right.
but the first one was a reaction
I
because
saw
they
that
hadn't
with
had a movie in ages. That's what.
yeah,
in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. The episode 8, I remember I was engaged at the time, so I remember watching with an ex fiance, and I just remember because she was a bigger Star Wars fan than me actually.
Oh,
Now
okay.
she loved it initially, but I came out the theater like that was a stupid fucking movie, you know.
Yeah.
And then episode 9 just went off the rails with how nothing made sense and bringing back Palpatine. Yeah. I mean, so you know, but it was so bad it made people retroactively like the prequels.
It did. That's how bad.
God, again, in my informative years, when I grew up hearing nothing but hate, it still blows me away because it's burned into my memory, Daya, how much people hated the prequels, and for them to turn around and like it now, I just part of me just feels like part of me just feel like it's a fake reactionary response because they hated the Disney shit so much that they kind of forcing themselves to like the Lucas stuff, but deep down they probably still hate it too. But that's just an assumption because guys, words will not explain how much I'm telling you. They hate. I kid you not. I would be watching random TV shows and they would have parodies of the trilogy of the prequels making fun of it.
Yeah,
I don't even think modern shows went that far with their Star Wars hate.
Yeah.
You know, but I tell you, I'm going to tell you another series that was good too, and I'm glad to see them bringing it back for third season, and that's the Halo, because you got so many people after that bash Halo 2, they said it wasn't better than the first one. Right. I said, what are you looking at? The first one was good, but the second one was better.
Oh, season 2 was better.
Oh, heck yeah.
2 is way better. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah.
But people said, well, they didn't stay with the trilogy and on how they did the books. I'm like, dude, man, please. The man got to breathe. The man got to breathe out the mask, y'all.
Yeah. If I remember, the big controversy was taking Master Chief out of the suit. If I remember correctly,
I can see a balance with that. I'm okay with the actor being seen sometimes. He does have to act, but I think they kept him out of the helmet for so long.
That's what it was.
It's the amount of time like you rarely ever see Master Chief with his full suit on, especially.
Yeah.
So I think
that suit, the suit and the helmet's too iconic.
It's too iconic. It's just like if you almost never see Batman in his Batman suit. He's just Bruce Wayne most of the time. They need to improve that. If they get that part where you see him more in the suit, I think that would settle a lot of people down because everything else is good. The action and other stuff is pretty good. But it's that,
Well, I kind of like him out. In this series, I kind of like him out of the suit because it showed them going to war and how the doggone man stole their suits.
Yeah, they weaved that into the story. Yeah, it had a reason in the show. Right. It had they was trying to show that Master Chief is very much the hero outside the suit as he is in the suit. That was the whole point.
That's pretty clever.
Right. So they want you to get to know who Master Chief is as a person. That's what the whole show is trying to do. But maybe people didn't like the direction that what they
I think the expectation is seeing Master Chief pretty much be a badass as we see him in the video games.
Yeah.
And or adaptation from the books and other outside sources. I think that's the other expectation.
Yeah.
Well, I played this that last fight scene. Oh, he messed old boy's ass up. Once he got back in that damn suit.
When he got in that suit, he was kicking. He did it outside the suit too, but man, yeah.
God, dog.
Man, yeah.
I'm like,
he was slicing those elites up and everything. Like once he got in that suit, he was like crazy.
I mean, and he told him, "Oh, I'm not done with you yet." He said, "I'm gonna take your ass out." But now I want to see what's gonna happen between him and the girl, though. Third one's gonna be very interesting.
Unlimited, can you go up? I wanted to address something that Royal Flush said at 8:30 p.m. It's
8:30.
yeah, it's a comment he made. I think
Do
it's
you
a good
think?
question
Do you
that
think
he said.
Microsoft this
Yeah,
one?
yeah, should have released. I think that Starfield on
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, if it means saving their studios. Well, I don't see
No.
that happening with Starfield because Starfield did very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
metric they did very well. Even with the scam reviews, and by the way, there
Mhm.
were scam reviews because it's been shown these certain people said they were going to bring down the score for personal reasons and stuff.
Yeah.
So but even with that, Starfield ended up landing at an 83
Mm-hmm.
with all of those good, all of the good reviews kept them afloat with that, because imagine if like half or even above half was all negative reviews, but and from what I hear on Metacritic, IGN's review alone equals up to like 3 reviews or something. They have more sway or something, so
Mm.
that just one review from them can equal it, and we know that guy hates Xbox, the editor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right.
so but anyway, but do I think that would have happened? No,
No.
because Starfield is such a success, and Microsoft actually had a lot more hand in that game at
Mm-hmm.
the end, which made it that way. I think Microsoft knows how to
And,
make pretty decent games, and
yeah,
they know what to do.
and Starfield was more visible than Hi-Fi for sure. Hi-Fi
Yes, and
Rush.
Hi-Fi was just dropped on everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and even more visible than Redfall, because
Yeah,
it
Redfall,
really
yeah.
it really got the full push behind Microsoft
True.
backing, and
And
yeah,
even-
and Redfall, Redfall was Redfall. I think Redfall was is going to be the sacrificial lamb of the
Yeah.
AAA games.
Yeah.
I think Avowed's going to be fine. Indiana Jones is going to get the big push this year.
Yeah.
Flight Simulator always does its numbers.
That does good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Hellblade's
right.
going to do great.
Yeah.
I think this is just I think that this is just the minor, the unfortunate bad news, because even good things have bad sides. You know what I'm saying? Good teams go through losing streaks. Not, you know what I'm saying? Good shows have bad episodes. Hell, good shows have whole bad seasons and are still
That's true.
considered fantastic shows.
Well,
Yeah.
the only good thing about this, they still gonna come out with the download content. I think they're gonna still come out with the download content for that game.
For
And they
Are you talking
still-
about
servers up.
Starfield? Huh?
yeah, we're going to see Starfield content during the June 9th show.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Redfall.
No, that's canceled. That's dead.
canceled. They refunding everybody their
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Oh,
Red-
on the
Redfall.
download content? Okay.
Yeah. Redfall's dead as it comes, man.
Yeah.
But they're gonna still keep the servers up, right?
Yeah.
You can
You'll
still
be able
play
to play the
online.
game. You're
Yeah.
gonna still play the game. It's just that the next update's the last, and there's the DLC content and all that stuff. Unfortunately, not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Redfall's going to be the one extreme example of
Yeah.
that, because even the games that didn't do super well last generation didn't get this treatment.
It didn't.
Like
yeah.
Quantum Break and all that stuff.
Oh,
And
by
I
the
think-
way, Quantum Break is a darling now. Did you hear?
Oh
Unlimited?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
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 I mean, and
Xbox All In said
And I
Mandalorian gave
I
me.
think my whole thing with Phil Spencer, he kind of felt real bad because they should have put more emphasis in that game, but he apologized for that. So
I don't
Yeah,
think he could have fixed it. I think it was so many problems with, because he tried to undo the microtransactions, and
right.
that's why you could tell Redfall had that set up in it, but it was removed. It was a lot with that, and
Mhm.
I just think he was trying to save it, but I don't think it was any saving Redfall as far as what they had to do in the time allotted and all that. I think it wasn't enough. And then they were a new studio acquired by Microsoft and everything. Could he had given them more time? He could have, but it was on an uncertain project.
Yeah,
They didn't approve of that.
And it was during the Xbox has no games era. Even though it wasn't true at the time, but that didn't matter.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
last year they had great content. It just sucks that a good game didn't do as well. But that's
Yeah.
going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every company has that. Great games that didn't do as well.
Yeah.
Xbox All In said Mandalorian gave me a little hope, but I believe it was canceled when I heard Favreau walked away from all things. Favreau walked away from all things Star Wars.
Yeah.
That show was canceled. Oh, I did. I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, I don't watch.
I don't
The
watch
only
movies,
thing
but
on
I heard
Disney
it.
I watch are The Simpsons and X-Men. I don't watch anything else on that app.
Okay.
Well, I heard that they're supposed to be making another. I hope they do. I heard that they're supposed to be making another Obi-Wan. I hope they really do because Obi-Wan was good. That's one thing I would say about Obi-Wan. Because him and Darth Vader, oh man, they got in that lightsaber scene. That was a classic. So, they had the little girl. They had like little Luke, and then they had like the little girl in there, showing that her being Princess Leia. And I mean, and that's good, because the girl she was a little smart brat in the damn movie, but she was smart as hell though, and it was good. So I would give them. I hope they do that, but I just hope they do it right like they did the last one. So, and I know how Disney is. Disney, they claim that they want to do it right, then all of a sudden they mess the whole doggone thing up. So, let's just hope that and pray that it does good.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, fellas. I'll tell you right now, and young lady, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm about to say, I ain't get off my frame of thought. I'll get to her in a minute. I'll get to her in a minute before we leave. Before we wrap things.
Yeah. Shizno Leet said, I'm very excited for GTA 6. Hopefully they nail it and prove they're good without the brothers there.
Woo!
Forgot their names. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The guys that left the studio. Yeah. I mean, GTA 6 is a guaranteed make a hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then people going to be playing GTA 6 online for the next decade after that. So, I think March 2025 it comes out, I think. That's going to be it's going to be an event. You know what I'm saying? So get ready for that if you're a GTA fan. Xbox is fine, and the rest of the year should prove amazing for Xbox. There's so much coming. Yep.
Oh, I know. I got my frame of thought. I know what I was about to say. It's just like you said. The thing about with Starfield, you had over 19 million people bought the game.
Yeah. That's right. People bought it. People played it. It was the only new game last year that actually made a dent in gaming, according to the metrics. So Starfield is, so listen, just because 2 games didn't do as well as we hoped does not mean every game is going to be a failure. You know what I'm saying? Entertainment is tricky. Sometimes you're just not going to be able to predict what's successful and what's not. Hell, there are plenty of TV shows, excellent TV shows that only lasted 2-3 seasons that are considered cult classics now, but the general audiences didn't watch.
Yep.
So to say, so why is everybody surprised when the same happens to gaming? Jack Napier, Joker. But all jokes aside, they really need to do new Dead or Alive. Yeah, what's the last one? 6, I think. Yeah, Dead or Alive was a good series at its prime. I don't remember Dead or Alive 6 being super good, to be honest with you. But it's still more games, the more better for us.
I'd like to see him do another game of Ghost Recon.
Yeah. And with Ghost Recon, I think the last 2 did pretty well. Unfortunately, the last Splinter Cell didn't do well. That's why we haven't seen a Splinter Cell in a decade. But I would love if that came back. Unfortunately, as we talked about, when it comes to these games, we haven't seen a lot of them for a reason.
Yeah.
And what I meant is using the profits from Starfield port to save Tango Games. Oh no, I don't know if it will work like that, man. I don't know how this stuff works in the innards. It didn't. We're also assuming that they were shut down for financial reasons, but it could have been other reasons that it was shut down.
It could have. I've heard rumors that Tango lost so many of its workers that it wasn't feasible to even keep the studio going.
Yeah.
So that I don't know if that's true, but that's what once Shinji left, a lot of other people left.
Yeah. And maybe they figured mass hiring for the studio wasn't the right move.
Right.
We since none of us work in Microsoft, everything we're saying is going to be speculation until we get something official.
But if that was true and you lose your talent, you pretty much don't have much of a studio left. Right. So you got to start off. It's almost like starting all over, and that might not be worth the cost and investment to Microsoft to do that.
Shut
them down. They're better off actually just buying a new studio that
Right.
is functional and that can produce stuff and all that at that point. And
Yeah.
folding the other ones in like they did for some of the studios, you know. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Royal Flush.
yeah, just like you said, you know, it's just like you said too, there. That they said like once he left, that was like the end of it right there.
Yeah.
that's
for,
what
for
I
all
heard.
we know, for all
We
we know
don't
that
know.
was the
It's-
situation.
But like we don't know. So
Right. I just
Yeah.
want to put that out there. But if that's true, it makes a lot more sense to me because a studio that's gutted of most of
Mhm.
its talent is just you basically starting over. And at
Right.
that point, I would much rather them go ahead and shut down the studio and buy another one that is like a Crystal D or something like that, where
Mhm.
you can actually get some games out of them right away, you know.
Right. Royal Flush said, I remember the Jimquisition reviewer saying she is biased against Microsoft because they deserve it. Yeah, and good point. And with people like that, there's just almost nothing that Microsoft could do that's going to win them over. So there's always going to be that initial bias of, oh, this is an Xbox game. Boom, I'm going to
Yeah,
feel
they
this way
just-
about it.
Yeah.
And now what sucks is that when it comes to reviewers, it seems like people listen to them more than I care to admit. So that sucks. You know, and it sucks, and it's kind of weird. She admits this, and people still watch her review and be like, "Wow, that's a good point. I'm not buying this game," which is so stupid to me.
Yeah.
You know that's like expecting us here to be, you know, that people come here and think that hey man, like I'm the guy to come to for Sony when this is obviously an Xbox podcast.
yeah.
And guys, listen. Have you heard me badmouth Horizon Forbidden Entertainment every chance I get? This is not the show for that. I was happiest 4, 5, 6. I'm assuming that's the Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
I don't like the prequels either. Yeah, a lot of people didn't, man. But at least you admit that you don't like it all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's not, running around. I love it now,
Yeah, and she's no lead. So Ubisoft are working on new Ghost Recon, but they're very quiet about it, as they should be. Because as we see, like Microsoft has shown a generation's worth of games, and now everything is like, hey, where's X game? Where's State of K?
Yeah.
Where's Perfect Dark? Where's South of Midnight? Where's you know what I'm saying? They show so many games. I can't even remember every game.
I can't remember them all either. There's a lot of games.
Yeah, but the point is, they show them so far in advance. Like it's so obvious now, that all the games they showed were early development in 2020.
Yeah.
But now they did that though, and this is where it's kind of hypocritical of people to criticize it. They did that because people said they need to see a roadmap. And now that they got the roadmap, like a damn near generation's worth of roadmap, you know, they're upset that these games are taking a long time.
Yes, and they
simultaneously,
had no choice.
Simultaneously acknowledging sorry to cut you off.
No,
but they simultaneously acknowledge that game is more expensive and take longer to make than ever, but somehow, want Xbox to also release all these games. I don't fucking know. I can't keep up with these stupid narratives.
I wanted to just verify what you said. You're absolutely right because, Xbox had to sell a new console and they had to give people a reason to invest in that and invest in Game Pass and other things. So in my opinion, it was always justifiable that Xbox had to show you a roadmap.
Yeah.
And now I can say personally, I'm grateful for that because I feel sorry for the PlayStation guys. They don't have anything to look forward to. They don't know when. They got a jiggling burger and all this other stuff. Nobody knows what the heck is coming out over there.
Yeah.
But we know over here,
Yeah, and here's another thing, Dea. PlayStation are the kings of showing games years. When I say years early, I mean years early before they come out. And people somehow forget this. I always say, I don't suffer from short-term memory loss, y'all. So I remember all this stuff. I remember when Sony had nothing the first 3 years of the generation. Right. And then finally, the first big game they get, Uncharted 4, 3 years in, after showing it in like 2013. So I remember this stuff. And
I'm going to tell you another thing too. With all these games that didn't do all that great, this springtime for them, man, is how is 2025 going to really look for them?
Yeah, that's a good question because I don't know.
Because they got nothing next year except for I think Death Stranding 2, and that don't have a release date.
Wow!
But they got to have money to make these games.
They
It ain't
do.
gonna
I
be-
mean, they need to be making
it's
stuff
making
in the
any money.
meantime. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so by the way, Sony warned y'all at the end of last generation that they're going to make and release less games. You know,
They
so
did.
just a heads up there.
What's his name? The ex CEO.
Yep.
What's his name? Sean.
I think Sean Layden said that.
Sean Layden said it straight up. If you ain't gonna play it, if you ain't gonna turn around and buy them, why should we make them?
That he did say that.
And he did say that.
And
Yeah.
that's what
what's
happened to
going on
Hi-Fi.
today.
That's what happened to Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
And Redfall and every other game, to be honest.
Oh
you know?
man, we're about to wrap it up shortly, but I forgot to mention this. You
Mhm.
know, and you know, this is where I say Xbox isn't perfect in it, because it is a little confusing to me that okay, Game Pass we're told helps, you know, with the smaller games.
Oh.
And then Hi-Fi Rush clearly does not have the pressure Starfield or Redfall had to make its money back.
Exactly.
So it is a little confusing to me and upsetting that game, you know, studio to that one is now gone. Despite us being told that you know Game Pass helps the smaller games, well, it should help the Microsoft smaller games as well, right? At least to me.
And that's one thing I say is
that's a good point right there, man.
And that's one thing I'll say is a contradiction that I don't like,
Mhm.
because I don't want to be made to feel like I have to buy the games if I'm paying into a service. If my paying into a service is not helping the developers to make games for that service, then I'm gonna pull out.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why I'm doing that.
Yeah, and here's the thing, I've bought my share of games that are on Game Pass, but I bought them because I wanted them. That's it.
Same.
That's it.
Right.
I didn't buy them out of obligation of, man, I gotta support the dev.
Right.
It's like Hi-Fi.
Right.
I literally bought Hi-Fi Rush despite it being on Game Pass because it looked so good to me that I as soon as it was available for purchase, I hit buy. Because that's how good the game looked to me, right?
It was. I like to own really high quality games. So I thought that was a high quality game.
And here's the thing. I bought Ghostwire Tokyo, but I bought that on sale because I didn't need, because I already played it on Game Pass. I was already playing it on Game Pass, so I didn't feel the need of spending full price. So it was on sale at a good price. I'm like, okay, cool. Now time to pull the trigger. Same with Grounded. You know, Grounded is I don't even like survival games, but damn, I love Grounded. Right?
That's a good game. Yeah.
And I bought, you know, when that was available for sale, I bought it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, because some, you know, because if again, like Redfall interests me, so I bought it full price.
Yeah.
You know, Grounded, I needed to
Bite Back
see.
edition.
I mean, it's like Call of Duty was at what, $70, and I bought it. I didn't buy it at full price, but I waited till it came down to $49.99. Then I bought it.
Yeah, yeah. So just to, you know, just for, you know, for full disclosure, I don't buy every game at full price. I'd be broke if I did that. I mean, you see, I own so many games. I'd be broke if I bought it. That's, to me, that's absurd. And Game Pass, you know, we're told that, you know, Game Pass is good for gaming. Excuse me. Game Pass is good for gaming, and so it does, like you said. You know, to me, it came off contradictory as well, Dea, of this idea that okay, it's good for the smaller games, and yet Hi-Fi Rush is kind of a victim of that. I kind of, you know, that's the type of questions that I would ask about.
That's actually a fair and good criticism.
That is a fair question.
You know, because I don't want to be made to feel like I have to buy an Xbox game. You know?
And then for me, also running a podcast, here I am for the last year saying, no, Aaron Greenberg said the game did this. You know, I pull up the numbers, 2.5 million players, this and that, 3 million players or whatever it was. And then, you know, I'm telling people one thing, defending it, giving my 2 cents, like, no, God, this is good. You know, this is a great game, play this and that. And then unfortunately, you know, and it makes them look like liars too. You know what I'm saying? Because for the record, I do not believe that Matt Booty, Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, any of them are out here just like, how are we going to fuck them over today? I genuinely think that they're saying what they're getting, and then something comes up, and then it kind of changes the dynamic, and then it makes them look like liars. You know, that's what I think. That's what I think, because it's just impractical to me to just be sitting up here and you know, doing, like, to me, I'm not sold, Dea, that the Xbox leadership is going to do a whole podcast to address the state of Xbox, right, and just lie the whole time,
right?
And then when the cameras are up, you know, they're like, you see, we got them. No,
Right.
I think that's what the plan was, and then when something changed, they came out and said, hey, this is what we're doing now. And then when something changes again, or they got to make a big decision, it's going to be the case. And I think that's the unfortunate part of business. And then here's another thing before we close it out, Day and Tuck. I'm now 100% sold that Phil and them are not fully running Xbox anymore.
Agreed. Me too.
Yeah, I think they had a free reign, and I think Sega Forever was on top of this for the longest.
Yep.
They had an open checkbook for a good while, but them days are over.
Yep.
And I think that Phil might be CEO of Xbox, but he ain't CEO of Microsoft, and so he's answering to people now, and we're seeing the consequences of that. And the people who are really making the final decision are not gamers, don't care about gaming, see the bottom line, and that's going to come first and foremost. So, guys, Daya, give us your final thoughts, and we're going to start wrapping it up.
Okay. I just say this really quick that, I have one concern that if it's a game that I really like that's in Game Pass that is from a first party, I would really love to be able to see sequels to that game and stuff. And I can understand Microsoft wanting to see some engagement, fair enough. But what is the metric? Is it sales or is it engagement? Because I'm hearing both, and I don't think we can meet both. It has to be one or the other. And I think that what Phil and them will have to do is make it very clear as to what is that metric and what we can expect, right? Because if I can play a game and I love it, and let's say the game leaves off on the cliffhanger and I never see the game again because of some metric I don't know about, that's going to be disappointing because we're constantly pumping money in to them through Game Pass and buying, because I do both. Right. And so I am concerned about that, and that's going to make me think twice about how I look at those games moving forward, because I can realize they're just one and dones and all that. I didn't think that before, but I do think that now. And so but still, with that being said, I do know it's more to the story than just that one thing, but that is a reality that we do have to face because Phil is not 100% in control, and I wanted to get that out. But yeah, that's why I wanted to end with, and and I know it's not the happiest thing, but we tried to give you a balanced approach to everything here. We hope that we've answered your questions to the best of our ability, and we're not trying to simp for a company, because I'm hearing that everywhere. We do love Xbox, and we want the best for them because we invest in Xbox, right? And we want the best in what we invest in. We want them to become better and to be healthy. That's a big deal, and that means the whole industry. So let's just try to hope and work towards having a healthy industry. Everybody, instead of fighting each other and wishing that the other studios die and that the CEOs of companies die and that all this stuff, Sarah Bond should go and all. I mean, that's ridiculous, and we should not be wanting that, because that's not going to improve the gaming landscape at all. So that's what I hope and want, and I hope that everybody in the chat wants the same thing.
Yeah, excellently put, Daya. Excellently put. Tuck, you got any final thoughts for us, my friend?
Okay, see, the point that I'm trying to make now, that's the reason why I like being with the group that I'm with now. Because we want gaming to be there. We don't want it to die out. We want it to be there. And we also don't want you to start talking about certain people. I mean, because you don't know what they go through. You don't know their life. You don't know what they go through. I mean, nobody don't know what Sarah Bond, nobody don't know what Phil go through on a daily basis. So that's why I'm saying these YouTubers out here just need to stop it, but they're not going to stop because that's all they think about is their platform, and that's it. But I tell you right now, you let Xbox go away, their platform is going to die, and you know it is, because they're not because their platform is dead. So just be careful what you wish, because Microsoft ain't going nowhere. We know that. But these doggone YouTubers, they get on my nerves. I don't like them. They nasty. They ugly. And they don't, and let's be truthful, they don't give a damn about gaming. All they care about is themselves and their money and the people that listen to them, that is constantly giving them money. Like I said, there's bad YouTubers and they're good YouTubers. And we are good YouTubers because all we talk about is positive on the gaming front. That's all I got to say about that. So
Excellent there, Tuck. Yeah, and I'll end it off. Sega Forever said it could be subs that slow. It's multifaceted, Sega Forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end saying this. Guys, this is the up and down in gaming right now. 2024, as great as the games are, it's clearly a downtime. And that's just going to be multifaceted. Whether it's the economy, whether it's the gaming bubble, however you want to put it. It's pretty clear day in Tuck and chat that all the factors are kind of coming down together at the same time, creating what's going on. And I think as gamers in the gaming community, we're going to survive it. I think that we're going to come out of it, and we're still going to have great games, especially on Xbox. It's still going to be a great time, but the people behind the scenes right now are trying to figure out how to survive, how to grow, and if there's limitation in growth, what to do there. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they got a business to run. As fans and as as gamers, we got a hobby to protect and love and I think all of us here just wants to see that happen. I think all of us just wants to be here in the next few years, still enjoying gaming wherever we are in life, right?
Right.
Because that's how great gaming is. And as confused as I am about my original thesis of today's show of why Sony, people still trust Sony but not Xbox. It's not because as someone as a troll was trying to say I'm just angry and stuff. It's really just me putting a mirror up to say, okay, why is one okay but the other isn't? Because to me, I need consistency if you believe in something, right?
Right.
And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this fleeting, because it feels fake to me. It feels fake to me when okay, you plant your flag in the sand, Daya, when Xbox does it, but when the rest of actually, it just kind of hit me. Xbox are the last ones to do something like this. Sony has cut games.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like every other publisher, major publisher and developer and you could think of was doing this since last year.
Yeah.
So Xbox are the last ones to even reach this point and somehow gets the most hate. And so to me, it just seems fake because I don't understand why when Tencent does it, oh man, it's just gaming. When Embracer does it, and Embracer has probably suffered the most.
It's bad there.
Yeah. And probably suffered the most to the point that I'm ready for anybody to take studios off their hands.
Yeah.
It's gaming. When Ubisoft does it, it's gaming. When Sony does it, it's a problem with gaming. It's not a Sony problem. When Xbox does it, I don't trust Xbox. I'm only playing on PC and PlayStation from now on. And that's just the stuff that don't make sense to me because I don't understand this. And that's why I haven't really. That's why if you guys have noticed, I have not bitched about Sony when they tried to make Helldivers 2, have a PSN account because. Who you got to have a Xbox account to play? Sea of Thieves.
That's true.
So I'm not going to sit here. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, Sony's a bad guy for doing it. Xbox League does the same. So I'm just sitting like, well, they thought there was something they could do. No, you can't. Because and also let's be real. PSN is not nearly as good as Xbox Live, so it's not even like it's enticing. But still, there's a reason why I haven't really spoke on it.
Okay,
because it's not something that I would have been a hypocrite.
Because
I already knew Xbox did this with their games, multi-plat games, and I'm not going to sit here and because that's not how I operate.
Okay,
that's why I have no problem giving props to a PlayStation game I like Gravity Rush or God of War 3, and I'll tell you when I don't like them, like their other major PlayStation 4 games. Mm-hmm. It's why I could tell you that. I'm not enjoying the Switch that I bought recently. I'm sorry. I'm giving it a fair try, but it's just not clicking with me. These Nintendo games, other than Bayonetta, have been
boring.
No, not boring. It's not PlayStation bad, but they're not clicking with me like I'm being told. Because people ever tell me that the most fun and creative games are these Nintendo games. When Zelda is an open world game, I love open world games, so that's decent. Bayonetta so far has been not even close the best one I've played. But I even gave a Pokemon game a chance, and that's the most. I'm sorry, Pokemon was. I regretted buying that game. I hated it so much. You guys think I shit on Horizon? This will almost be a Pokemon hate channel if I gave you my full thoughts on the Pokemon game I played when I got the Switch. No, that ain't for me. I'm Team Power World going forward.
Yeah, Power World.
Yeah, until Nintendo get their act right with that series. But the point is, I have no problem giving props or not for the other gaming places I don't enjoy as much as Xbox. And because I've deliberately, Dea, I try not to be a blind fanboy to the point of I'm just going to always accept Xbox no matter what they do, because I don't like when PlayStation fans do it. So why would I do it for Xbox? Yeah. But with that said, guys, you guys have a great night. Thank you, Zinc. You guys have a great night, a great rest of your week. Hopefully, there's no more big news. I'm podcast out did two days in a row, right?
This was Sega forever now.
Yeah. It's as I listen. I love hanging with you guys. It's nice to be back, though. I'll say that. It's nice, and that's kind of why these shows has been a bit longer these last few days, Dea, because I was gone for so long that it is nice to be back. And I originally I was just going to do a solo show with the chat, but Hebot wanted in, you wanted in, Zinc. Yeah. I mean, Tuck.
I didn't get a chance to say.
Yeah, I can't say no to. Yeah, I can't say no to you guys. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me because I love hanging out with you guys so much that it's hard for me to be like, nah, screw you guys. Let me just do the low. Like, nah, man, you guys are starting to approach like family to me. I mean, they literally plays for me. How can you can't get much closer than that? But all right, guys, you guys have a great night, and we're out.
Now we going